CAL FIRE crews are working with a sense of urgency. Instead of battling a wildfire, they are attacking the growing brush in the Santa Cruz Mountains near Lexington Reservoir.
So I got my third saw taking that lower 15 feet, taking the first half. My man here's in the middle. They're gonna blast through here.
Winter storms have pushed the brush to levels not seen in years.
Well, we had a very strong El Nino, but the amount of rainfall that we got was a lot more like what we get normally. And because of that, we are seeing a spring push that's been pretty significant as far as annual grasses and the brush growing.
The constant buzz from chainsaws and chippers illustrates a strategy. The goal, a changed landscape that will help crews fight a wildfire. But this footage shows a fire that was intentionally set for good reason. This truck is the mobile lab for the Fire Weather Research Laboratory at San Jose State. Behind the wheel is Dr. Craig Clements, a professor in the Meteorology Department.
In the last 2 years, the team is deployed to 14 wildfires in the state of California,
including the Rag Fire, which burned 8,000 acres last summer near Lake Berryessa. The team travels to real events and sets experimental ones, all this to boost their understanding of the weather impacts on fire behavior.
We can actually, from a safe distance, scan the fire region with the LiDAR and retrieve the wind speeds and the actually rate of spread of the fire front itself.
Fully stocked, this truck carries a mobile Doppler LiDAR unit to collect 3D samples of the wind and a microwave profiler to scan temperature and humidity. On this May afternoon, there was no fire to study. Instead, the team drove 15 minutes from downtown Los Gatos to sample brush at a specific spot.
Already getting grass fires.
Yeah, for about a month.
This is the site on Blackberry Hill, and CAL FIRE watches it closely. I'm standing up here in the Santa Cruz Mountains surrounded by a lot of brush. In fact, right here we have dead material, and next to it we have new growth. Over June, July, and August, this will dry out rapidly, so even the strongest El Nino on record could not wipe out the peak of our fire season.
So those are all the basic measurements that we need for when we go field sampling.
Chris Camacho is a graduate research assistant measuring the amount of moisture in the brush. The pair carefully clips the brush and puts the samples in 2 camps, new and old growth.
To get the old, you have to clip the new.
The 4 cans are filled, pounded shut, and transported back to San Jose State.
We have it set to a constant 100 degrees, so we throw our samples in there.
In the lab, the brush is weighed and sent into an oven to dry out. The process will take 24 hours. The next day, we're back on campus a little early.
You can see some right over in there, but it's all the south-facing slopes.
The drying hills can clearly be seen from the rooftop lab. The Doppler LiDAR is back for maintenance. It is being tested now and will soon be back on the truck. Time is up, the samples are pulled out and weighed. The difference in weight from the day before yields a measurement that is commonly called fuel moisture.
So you'll go and crunch those right now?
The measurements are recorded in the national database, and an instant plot tells a story.
Taking a quick look at the blue line compared to the average, we are just slightly below the average for new growth.
The moisture levels are close to normal and are likely heading to low critical levels by the fall.
September, October.
Now we're getting into, the fuel's already going to be primed, we're getting into a weather-driven event. And most of the large wildfires are they're both a combination of fuel and weather-driven.
Don't let the green hills fool you. A dangerous fire season could be right around the corner. This professor and his team will be ready to travel to any wildfire beginning June 1st. Mark Tamayo, KTVU, Fox 2 News.